Hello, welcome to Sister Confessions. You're here with sisters Michelle and Desiree, and we're on this journey of life and mental health and healing and wellness and all the fun things that we all go through. Um, so, we're going to kind of start going with a little bit of an update because, Michelle, in episode 27, you had talked about you wanted to take your family camping. You guys have never been camping, and you mentioned it to your husband, like, "Hey, let's go camping. Next time we have an event." And he was like, "What are you talking about?" Like it was out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You guys don't have a tent, or he was like. But the great update that I want you to tell us is that you did go kind of camping
Kind
recently,
of
and I would love
baby
to
steps.
hear. I love it. Baby steps. Tell us what happened.
Exactly what you said. So I have been wanting to do this. Uh, it's not a one-time thing. I want it to be part of our lifestyle when we can. And I, as I mentioned before, if you see the other podcast, we always go places and always do things, but we stay in hotels, and that's fine. We camped, you and I, as children, so I got my feel for it. And as an adult and old and tired, I'm fine with hotels. But I have uh, children now, so it's good to get them out there in the wilderness, and so I want to do that somehow. Of when we're going to go somewhere that's a distance, possibly camp instead of a hotel. And we were going to go to Legoland in over 4th of July. And I mentioned the camping part. And so my husband looked into it, and it's the cutest baby step that will someone could ever take. But I love it. I loved it because it was an Airbnb, but in an RV, not in a house. And it was a older couple. They're retired and they're renting out their RV, and it was in their backyard, but their backyard it's all like wilderness in their backyard. So it wasn't like we're just going in someone's backyard. Um, Even though literally we were, but it was really, really sweet and really cute. And I mean, I told him, and then he took the reins and ran with it, and he planned it all, and he did
Oh.
it. And the RV was really cute, and I was actually a little nervous of how the kids were gonna. I've mentioned before in many of them the podcast, but I have a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old, and 2 stepdaughters that are grown now, so they wouldn't be in this little RV cooped up with us. But we did go, and the little ones did. They really liked it. They actually had way more fun there. Okay. I'm not gonna say way more, but it seemed like they had as much fun in the RV as they did at Legoland. So
Oh,
it
cute.
was it was
Yeah.
a good baby step into the right direction of
Yeah.
camping. I mean, they got to experience all kinds of bugs, and they didn't like
Part of the
that.
fun, huh?
And no, they're city kids. They did not like that. Uh, so it was great, and I love it because I just mentioned it, and then here we are doing it, and I'll keep you posted on the
On the
next
next trip.
trip, and maybe we'll move up one and not be in the Airbnb RV.
Is it called RVBnB? Is it Airbnb,
I
but
I didn't
RV?
plan it. I
Oh,
don't
you don't
know.
even. Michelle, I love that for two reasons. First of all, it's something that you wanted for your family, and it was like this abstract thing, and you made it happen. And it wasn't like, okay, I want to go camping, but I'm going to wait until I get the all the things and figure out when. Like, you just made it happen, like a little baby step, and you gave your kids this great experience. And I love that Mariano planned it. Like, he knew that's something that you wanted,
Yeah.
and he knew it was important to you. And especially when you shared his expression the first time, he was like, what are you talking about? Like,
Right.
okay, yeah, let's do it. And he made it happen for you and the family. So that is a great update. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, it was. I was pleasantly surprised because, like I said, we've been camping throughout our childhood, so I and our camping wasn't. I mean, there's a big um spectrum of camping. You could go just with a backpack and you lay on uh, a sleeping bag and that's it. I mean, we went to good what glamping campgrounds where there's a pool and a store and stuff,
Yeah.
and we did sleep in tents, and I
Hey,
just
what
love the experience.
we talked about it in episode 27, but we did a lot of KOAs. But there was that one campground that we went to just for General Dynamics employees, right? It was just for, like, because daddy worked there, we were able to go in Julian. Isn't that right? Pinecrest?
Pinecrest, yeah,
Was
that
it
was the one
just
with the pool and the. I knew it was members only. I didn't know it was through
oh,
his job.
maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'm making
Maybe
that
his
up.
job had a discount. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, some jobs give benefits like that, but I knew it was, yeah, it wasn't open to the public. You had to pay it, um, I think monthly or annually to be a member to be able to go to this campground. And
Yeah.
that, uh, that monies that you pay towards it maintains the pool and the staff and all the things. They had like a game room and,
Oh
um,
yeah.
remember this?
The movie screen for the movie nights.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That too. Yes, lots of things. Great things that the camping I like. I never been real camping where you just take a backpack and go hiking up a mountain and
No,
um
that's not real. I think that's called crazy camping,
no no.
or
I think
that's called, I think it's called extreme camping, or there's another word.
yeah.
Extreme
Extreme would
camping.
be
Let's say
better.
extreme.
Extreme and for the pros.
Yeah, professional camping. That's it.
Professional
Yeah, we
camping.
were. Yeah, but I mean, it was pretty professional. Our parents, and when you think about, as parents now, like packing up all the
Yes,
things and like the
yes,
food and the ice chests, and
yes,
so that's very professional, I think. So,
yes,
oh, that's awesome. Get the great update about making it happen
yes,
in a baby step. And I think that's, sometimes I can have black or white thinking, like all or nothing. Like, this is my idea, this is what I want to do. And until it's 100%, I'm not going to do it until I get there. Like, I might like do things incrementally to, so, but that holds you back, like if you don't
yeah.
take that little baby step, even if you're not ready or prepared, that little baby step. And what a great example of just the baby step of camping. And the kids loved it.
Yes, it was a great
Yeah.
experience, great time. I recommend it. If you've never been camping, th- do a baby step and do a Airbnb or RVMB or whatever it's called in the RV and get some practice. Yeah.
uh Side note for your husband Mariano, we have a travel trailer and we have an acre and chickens and trees, and
Yes,
you guys can camp.
in
Come
your
on over.
backyard.
Come on over. Go camping in our backyard. Should be the next
Oh, that
camping
would
trip.
be the next step because the the place we were at was wilderness in the backyard, but didn't have the acre you have. How many acres?
Just one.
Oh,
One.
no, pretty big.
Yeah, it's good.
Yes, I'll take you up on that.
All right. We have witnesses here. It's recorded.
Yes.
Done. Awesome. Great update. Thank you for that update. I have a little bit of an update on my end, and it kind of got us talking about what our episode's going to be about. But my son is 17, and he has been wanting to join the military for years now. So he's entering his senior year, so he plans to enlist and join the Navy once he graduates. So he recently bought a book on how to train for Navy SEALs. And so we were reading through it the other day about the nutrition and a training program, and he's getting really serious. And it's so inspirational and motivational that he has this drive to do this. But one of the things I wanted to talk with you about, or we wanted to discuss, was resiliency through positive habits. Like, as he's training, I'm sure, there's days he doesn't want to train, or days that he's tired, or days that he doesn't want to wake up early, or for all of us, days we just
Yeah,
want to, on the weekend, sleep in and not do this or that. I mean, the list is endless, but the importance of the positive habits in our life and how that creates resiliency. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's great. Yes, especially being in the military, I see people. Um, I I only know. I mean, we our grandfather was in the Marines, and when I knew him as a grandpa, I knew him as grandpa, not as a Marine. Um, but the Marines that I have known to go to boot camp and actually serve in combat, they're so disciplined, and not just that. I don't. Things are they look at things in a whole completely different way, and their mind is structured in a way that they are resilient. So I love that I mean, where did he find this book?
Oh,
Right,
I'll give you one guess.
Amazon.
Yes. No, I do have to say, I took the kids to the library a couple days ago. I work from home, so luckily I got to work from the library. We went for hours, and I was like, "All right, kids, I'm working for a couple hours here. I have appointments. I have to do stuff on my computer. Like, just go be free, go explore, go to the library." It was a big, beautiful library. And so he did look, and he was looking for like military books, and what he found was like fiction military books and stuff, not
Mm,
really. Like, he was looking for like training guides, and
yeah,
he didn't see anything, so he bought something that day from Amazon. So uh first choice was the library, but he didn't find anything there, so he
I
bought on Amazon.
I think that's so great of him to do that,
Yeah.
and for all of us to do something like that, to get, because we're all, I would say all as in I know everyone, but the for the most part, I believe that we as a community um just let life happen, and then whatever happens dictates how we feel. And if you can get into positive habits in your own practice of living, like on a daily basis, of what helps you, how you care for yourself, things will not affect you the way they do if you're just living life as how life is. And for me, I was always like that, as in I was that leaf that just blew around. I let the wind dictate how
Yeah.
I felt that day or moment. And I do see, if I steer away from what I know helps me feel structured in a positive way. And what I mean by that is like when I mentioned this in the last one, but I'll say it again. Like on my way to work, I listen to inspire things that inspire me, not what I used to listen to was like music that was not inspiring. I mean, like I like rap music, and that just has a negative. Um, the words are negative. The beat's great, but the words are negative, and that gets into here without me subconsciously. And then I'm in a mood that I didn't even know I was in, and then something happens, and it bothers me. Where if
Yeah.
I'm on my way to work or to run errands or whatever I need to do, and I'm listening to things that inspire me and get me uplifted, it really helps with everything. It gets me in a great mood. I mean, people at work or other places notice that, and I've been being told like you're always refreshing because blah 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 whatever, and I'm like, yes, I am,
I
but
just
only because
listened
I
to the
feel that
best
way
rap
because
song.
of what I'm putting
Yeah.
into myself. It's a constant reminding of myself though, of and it's not hard work. I say it's not hard work. I wanted to reiterate that because I was like, it's a constant thing. But if you veer away from it, things start getting hard again. For me, at least.
Yes. I love
Yes.
that. Uh,
How about you?
the positive habits. We've talked about it before, like SMART goals, like really specific things, and that is one of the things I really hone in on with my clients because I work with them for 1 year, and we set goals for the whole year of what do they want to achieve over this next year. And I work with a lot of single parents, and a lot of times they're like become self-sufficient or get out of debt or all great things. A lot of times they don't mention like mental health, and so I always ask that, like, how's your mental health? Are you good with that? Is that something you want to strengthen? And once I mention that, they're like, oh yes, I could do better. Like pretty much all of us could do better with our mental health. Whether we're great, we could be more great. If we're not good, we could do a little bit better. And so in making those goals with them, it's like, well, what can you do daily or weekly or monthly, and not this pie in the sky, unattainable thing, little things that we can do every day. Podcast, getting organized. One of the things my family did a few years ago is we got Google Calendar. My son, me, and my husband each have our own Google Calendar, and we sync it so we can easily see who's doing what and what events are happening. And that little piece really is a great positive habit for our family. Like we're not always checking in like what's happening or things are being going by. Little things like that can make a big difference in our lives to be resilient and deal with the
Yes.
curveballs that life throws at us. If we're solid in what we're doing every day, kind of like you said, we're more rooted. We're like that strong tree with the roots in a positive way, nurturing ourselves and nurturing our lives, rather than just something happens and it just throws you all out of sync and off track because we weren't prepared. We don't have those. We're not resilient. We don't have those positive habits.
Brilliant. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought being resilient was working on being resilient. But
Like
it's not.
unattainable. Like there's never. It's not
Yeah, like
attainable.
there's skills on resiliency, but it actually isn't. It's a outcome of just being, like you said, grounded and in a good place yourself, just in yourself. And grounded though. Grounded is a big deal. And what do I mean by grounded? Knowing who you are, being grounded, knowing uh, I I was gonna say confidence, but it's more than it's deeper than that. It's not necessarily confidence of it's knowing who you truly are as a human being, but you're more than that, and you're in your words of because there's many ways to say it, but like for Desiree, in your faith, you're a child of God, and for me, I'm I am God is in me, and I know that I am I'm just a vessel. I'm way more than what this body
Yourself.
is.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And in knowing that, and and for you, reading the Bible, for me, listening to specific podcasts talking about spirituality, this has really, really helped me. Meditating. Um, and meditating is not, we talk about this too, but um it's just being no, yeah,
It can be,
not
but
permanently.
there's a lot of forms of
Yeah.
meditation. Yeah.
Yes, and that's really helped me of just taking breaths and just being and not letting the tornado in my head take over. And that's what I mean by grounding, and that really does help me with all the chaos in work, in life, in this world. There's so much going on in this world right now. You could easily be not resilient, um, and turn off the news. We've talked about all these things before, but it does. If you make a list of 5 things you could do every day or not do,
Right. Or not
and
to.
that will help you with resilience. You don't need a workbook on how to be resilient, because I always thought that, and it's not. It's a effect of being with positive habits and staying on that track.
And I kind of want to bring it back to the beginning of this. Baby steps. Like your baby step of camping.
Yeah,
It's not like not resilient, I am resilient. It's taking those
yeah,
baby steps. If you're feeling like your life is out of control or you have no control in your life or all these bad things happening, it's just that little step of okay, before I go into work and after work, I'm going to take 5 minutes in my car and do some deep breathing. And it might feel silly at first, but I am sure you will feel centered and more calm after that time if you fully just and put a timer on 5 minutes, like little things that you can do throughout your day, like you were saying,
yeah.
that can help you feel more centered and which will create resiliency. That is a great point, Michelle. I love it. Um, so one of the things that I do, it's beautiful weather here. Here's an example is I love going for sunrise hikes in the morning, like 5:30, 6 a.m. with friends. And so I go probably 4 or 5 times a week. I'll meet different friends and we go and walk a couple miles and I come home feeling like good. First of all, it's beautiful here. So like being outdoors and exercising and moving my body and having like great connection with someone else and a good conversation and I come in and I have a cup of coffee and I'm ready to go, ready to work. Like I feel good. Versus if I don't do that before, I would push snooze embarrassingly, maybe like for an hour, every 9 minutes for an hour, wait to the last minute, wake up frazzled, like, okay, here I go. I'm going into work just frazzled. And that is, I think, a great example of those little habits that you can incorporate in your day. And all of us are different. All of us, what feeds our soul is different, but
Mhm.
it's all kind of the same, like good nutrition, good sleep, enough water, exercise. Those core things are all great habits, but how you incorporate that is, based on personal preference. Um, yeah.
I agree. Everyone's different. What works for us may work for you, may not. But find what works for you and try to do it every day. It doesn't have to be a whole life change. It will eventually,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
one baby step, one thing. Do I said I threw it out there. Said do 5 things a day, but it was small, as in the breathing, and then uh yes,
Me-
drink 3 more bottles of water while you're out and about.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
That's what I meant by 5. Not, I should be more specific, or maybe just let's start with one.
One.
Small
Yes.
steps,
Right.
small steps. That breathing thing really does help me, and I do that. I do that
Yeah.
before work and after work. And I heard on a podcast someone does this. They I mentioned it too, I think before, but they when they walk in the door, they imagine, the when you go into a grocery store and all the wind is
Yeah.
blows on you to get the flies away or any bugs. When they walk into their office, they imagine that happening, but it's all the stuff of
Their
the
life.
commute to work, the
Uh-huh.
argument you had with your significant other or whatever, that all gets blown away. And then you're going to enter into work, and you're at work and you do your work, and then you leave. And then when you get home, you do the same thing. When you walk in the door,
Mm.
it all blows away of that day that you had, the drive to home you had, things like that. This is all for us city people, uh, advice going into work and coming home of the commute. But
Mhm.
that's just an example because I live, I think, in the city. Um, but there's so many things, so many
Yeah.
things. Find what works for you, and in that you will get resilience out of it.
And first of all, well, I have like 5 thoughts going at once, but it all starts in the mind, actually. Even that simple, what you just said, that simple exercise of visualizing, like, okay, I'm going into work, I'm focusing, and everything else is blown away. And then coming home, the same thing, it starts with the mind and how
Yes,
powerful the mind is in
yes,
helping us with our its mindset. So, so I love it. There are a lot of different examples. Hopefully, this inspires you. Of if you feel like your life is going a okay, then maybe this podcast isn't for you.
yeah.
But if you feel like you can enhance your life in a certain way, or you want to do better or be better, or continue on this healing journey, hopefully this inspires you to just try one thing a day. If you've got a lot of great habits and you're feeling solid, but there's something else, like, oh, I've been wanting to do this or that, like take my family camping, or one thing to just enhance your life in a different way. This Hopefully this is encouraging and inspiring you to just take it the next notch up.
Yes,
Yes. And
let's do
Michelle,
it.
any last
Let's take
thoughts
the
on this?
exam.
You inspired me. I'm ready. I'll make my list.
No, you asked me for last thoughts.
Yeah.
I believe I gave all my thoughts this time.
Great. Great. Hey, thanks for joining us in this episode. And like I said, hopefully it inspired you. If you know someone who's wanting to create more resilience in their life or enhance their life, or if you think that this would be helpful to someone, please share. Don't forget to subscribe and like and pass it along because of the algorithms. But also, subscribe for algorithms, but you'll get the notification. But share if you think it would help someone. That's the point. So thanks for tuning in, Michelle. To be continued. We'll talk soon.
We'll talk soon.
All right. I love
Bye.
you. Bye.